Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it.
And away we go. Welcome to the show number 2,864. Along with Steve the Throw Hill, the Ted Smith, Wobbin Fox, and my cock. And you are in the men's room. On tap today is the drunk in charge, Ryan Castles, into Sit and Spin Now. Today, Ryan brings us the cost of meeting 10 artists backstage. The word has more American phrases other countries simply do not understand. Get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, men's room shot of the day, fun listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV time with Ted. Clack, clack. Jiggity, John. All right, here we go. Florida man, upset that he burnt his chicken, starts attacking beachgoers with a boat anchor. We go to the Jersey Shore where a beach umbrella blows away, impaling woman downwind in the spanker. Japanese city looking to hire ninjas at $85,000 a year. Woman in Texas bites off swallow's friend's nose while holding a beer. And woman survives being attacked by thousands of bees in California. That's all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours, all right? Imagine a 10-inch wide bird-eating tarantula with venomous fangs. Now, that's a real thing and lives in the Brazilian rainforest. Well, lives there most of the time. 2 of these things managed to escape in a parking lot in England after they got out of their containers. I guess the containers fell over, and now they're not quite sure where these 10-inch wide bird-eating tarantulas are. But authorities are, in fact, searching for them. We have a story about a man who had a search of his own. In this case, he wanted to find his biological parents. You're familiar with the general story of how this goes. Let's just say the story, it starts weird, gets worse, keeps getting worse, gets crazy, and you go, man, oh man, maybe you should have never searched for your biological parents. But searching is what we do. We had a story of a woman always looking for her long-lost sister, only to find out that her long-lost sister was also her next-door neighbor.
And a package thief.
Yes. Well, the other sister's a package thief. Long story, but in the end, they're neighbors. One of them a thief. And police in New Jersey, they were looking for the owner of Bean. They posted a mugshot of Bean on their Facebook page. Bean, by the way, is a pug who was wandering the streets of New Jersey. And believe it or not, after the search, they were successful and found the owner. So today, it's just all about searches. Some are more important than others. Some are panic. Some are passion. It doesn't matter. Today, we want to know who was looking for what and why.
Be a part of the big show. Call 844-999-OLA. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. Send emails to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
All the fellas, and away we go. Welcome to show number 2,864. What a large charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat as the drunk in charge Ryan Castle is coming in to sit and spin. And today, Ryan brings us the cost of meeting 10 artists backstage. Now, one thing that you need to know in this day and age as far as your opportunities go, they are a lot better than they were, say, 30 years ago, when basically the only way you could get backstage is if you were
trying to have sex with them.
Yeah, you're going to do that whole thing. Now, as part of...
So I met most of my favorite bands, Miles.
Me too. I mean, I can't... That night with Motley Crue, what a night. But you couldn't get back there, and that was the whole thing. If you knew somebody who got to party with the band or get backstage, well, these opportunities now don't necessarily have all that. Some differ from others, but one thing that they do all have in common is for the most part, you're going to be able to get backstage or to a side area, and you are going to meet the artist. Now, whether that is because you're a member of their fan club online, whether you bought a package that is part of a meet and greet package, you do have those opportunities. Vegas has them, I think, for a lot of the shows. A lot of artists obviously don't need that. They opt out depending on the level of the artist. But you'd be surprised. I mean, Britney Spears does a residency in Las Vegas. You can meet her. It costs you money. They all differ. Sometimes it's just a photo.
I want to say Castle told us that Sebastian Bach played somewhere, right?
Oh, he's part of it.
And what he would do, all right, so he's doing his solo thing. And then at the merch booth, there were professionally printed signs for T-shirts, this, that, and the other.
Oh,
then
yeah.
there's his handwritten note taped up there. And I believe it's like, if you want to meet him, $50. So he's like, hey, man, if you get
he's
cash.
Yes.
Cash. So you couldn't, That was the thing.
That's it.
It's $50 cash.
So the cost of, and he's number one, by the way, just so you know, on our top 10. Yeah, he's number one. The cost of meeting 10 artists backstage is coming up with Ryan Castle and Sit and Spin. And the word has more American phrases that other countries don't understand. And today we're going to talk about what you were looking for, what was looking for you, who was looking for whoever it was, and it just depends on the situation. There's everything from family members who look for lost family members, people out there who have been looking for lost dogs. We have situations where the authorities are looking for people. Those people know who they are. You brought up the story of the guy who was hiding in a grocery store because police...
No. He was at a bank doing whatever he was doing.
Oh, was at a bank.
A bunch of cops showed up at the bank. They basically bum rushed the parking lot. He knew he was out on bond for like a previous drug offense. So he knows the cops are there for them, but he manages to get out of the bank, runs across the street to the grocery store, and he's just trying to blend in with the people, all right? So about 4 minutes later, all of those cops are now storming the grocery store that he went to, so he freaks out, sneaks into the back utility room, right, and climbs up into the ceiling. The problem was at one point he fell through the ceiling, not all the way out, but his legs are now hanging over the deli section, I believe it was, okay? So the cops see this, and they're like, come on, man, come down. But no, he would not come down. He climbs back into the ceiling. He's up there for like another 20 minutes, but lo and behold, he crashes through again. But again, not all the way through.
Into the meat department.
This was the refrigerated meats department specifically.
All right.
His legs hanging down. The cops are like, come on, man, for real. Eventually, they managed to get this guy, and they arrest him for all this, obviously. But the bad part for him was they weren't looking for him. Someone had robbed the bank. So the cops showed up at the bank, but whoever robbed the bank had gotten away. They went to the grocery store where he hid to see if the surveillance footage from there could identify who this person was. They were never looking for him. They would not have known he was there until he fell through the goddamn ceiling.
I was at a sporting event with a buddy that had a massive wig on.
Wig?
Wig.
Okay.
Like a giant wig. So it was so big that it was taking up space. So the security guards came up, and my other buddy kind of freaks out and just hands him his flask. And the security guards were like, no, just take the wig off.
He's like, oh, sorry.
But it was that awkward because now it's in the security guard's hand. He's like, God damn it.
I can't.
Come on. And I try to teach that to my kids, like, don't cop to anything until it has been addressed. Don't step into that trap, man.
I think I was in 8th or 9th grade, but there was a guy who went to another school, and he was a big dude, and he played football, and he was the biggest guy that they had. And I think I said something. I can't remember what I said, but either way, I don't remember how this goes down.
You said something.
I said something to him in a game or whatever. Either way, the word comes around, he wants to kill me. Like, the word is out, like, if I see Montgomery, I'm going to kill him. I'm absolutely going to kill him.
What did you say?
What did you said something about
I probably just talked game talk.
I know his mother or his sister.
I probably talked game talk at the time. No, I just probably said something ridiculous.
No, I know how you are.
But anyway,
something
so it didn't really matter.
But you were jogging off the field, too.
No.
The pretty boy quarterback.
No.
Yeah, suck it.
I said something about his girlfriend. I remember what I said.
Of course you did.
Because
what did you say? That you and
I've heard a lot of bad things on a sports field. I've never known anybody to go find somebody after the game.
No. No, he wasn't looking for me after the game, apparently. Maybe he was. Either way. So he goes, he tells somebody that I know is a mutual friend. He says, you tell him, and I see him, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, God. You know what I mean?
You do remember what you said?
Yes. Well, it's kind of. I said,
what did it imply?
Basically.
Why did this man want to kill? What did you say about his girlfriend that makes this guy say, like, hey, let him know I'm coming for him? Because I was like some tombstone-ass.
Oh, I don't remember. It was
Come on.
Yeah,
Yes, you do.
No.
I just know it's horrible. I've heard you say horrible stuff. I know you're a horrible person in class. I don't know what you said.
No, it wasn't that. I think I said, no, I can't remember what I said. Anyway, so it didn't really matter. Anyway, so like it didn't matter. So it didn't matter. It will matter to him. So
generally, when you say smart ass things to people, those are the people that matter.
I was just trying to irritate him. You know what I mean?
It worked.
During the game, it sure did. But the thing was that there was only a few places you could go. So there's only one movie theater in town.
Right.
There's only one mall. There's only like a couple places where people hang out. So like every time that I would end up going someplace, it was kind of like I was on a mission. You know what I mean? I was like, let me look around the corner real quick here. Make sure that he's not here.
How long did this go?
I wanted to go to the mall and all the hang out, like the arcade and all the places you hang out, as a kid, parking lot of this, McDonald's or whatever. But man, like if somebody was there, like every time I went there, I was like, oh man, if he's there, I'm going to get my ass beat. So every time he's there, I had to kind of do surveillance beforehand, like, okay, I'm cool at the McDonald's.
Did people know that you had to keep your eye out for him, man?
I didn't really want to let anybody know exactly, but I just knew that if he saw me, it was just going to be like, all right, here, it's on. You know what I mean? There's just nothing I could do to stop it. So it eventually happened.
What did you say?
I basically told her that I wouldn't have sex with her with someone else's D. Oh. And I pointed to the other guy. I was like, she's so ugly, I wouldn't do that with his D. And so it just came out of my mouth.
Right.
It wasn't personal. It was so personal. It wasn't personal. It was just football talk. You're like in 8th, 9th grade. You know what I mean? You just talk crap on somebody.
It wasn't personal.
So anyway.
I wouldn't have your girlfriend.
All right, so here's the problem.
So ugly.
So here's the problem.
And you know him.
I know him.
And you know his girlfriend.
And she's not ugly. She's actually very attractive. And I knew her. So that was even worse. So then we go to this dance.
What happened to you can't cover me?
Oh man, I'm gonna dance. So listen, I'm gonna dance. No, it's worse than that. So I'm gonna dance.
It wasn't personal, and yet that's what you said.
I'm gonna dance, right? Like at a school county dance thing or whatever. And so I didn't see him. He saw me. I went to the bathroom. He came in there and just beat the living hell out of me. Banged my head off the sink. Like I got in 2 good shots. The problem was I had my D out when he started because I was going to the bathroom.
Right.
And I was like, "Hey Rick, man, just give me a second, man. Like, let me zip up, man." I turned around and go. Bop. I'm just like, God damn it! I knew it had to go down. I just sitting, the waiting was the worst part because I always felt like, all right, if he ever, you know what I mean? Like, I know when he sees me.
How long were you living like this?
And his girlfriend was like, I should have said that, and I'm like, God damn it!
Shut up, you ugly bitch!
Exactly. I wouldn't have you with his D.
How long was it? Like months?
It was like 3-4 months. It was like I was just, but I wanted it.
That's a long time.
I just wanted it, and everywhere I went, my heart was beating. You know what I mean? Right. I hope he's not here. Couldn't go to Pizza Hut. Nothing. You know what I mean? Just it sucked.
And then you're getting your ass beat.
I knew I was going to get my ass beat. It was just a matter of time.
He hit your head on a sink.
Oh, he banged my head off that sink like 2 or 3 times. Oh, he's a big dude.
Oh, 3 times.
Oh, yeah. I mean, until I hit him in the gut and kind of put him on a knee, and then he started beating the hell out of me again. And I hit a rabbit shot.
Good time.
Yeah, it really was. But it was a terrible time when I was, Who was looking for what and why? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Michael. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, lost my 6-year-old boy at Quest Field during a Seahawk game one time.
That can be comforting.
No.
How,
crap out of me.
How long was he missing from you?
About 20 minutes.
Did you take him to the bathroom, or did you just lose him when you were walking?
We were in line at the coffee place, and we were like, hey, don't wander off. And the lady said, what do you want to drink? And as soon as she said that, my old lady said, where's Peyton? And I turned around, and he's just gone.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and first thing went through my head was someone heard me say, don't wander off, and just snatched my boy. But, of course...
That's when I take the opportunity to grab children, is when I hear their parents say, hey, be good, stand over there. Yeah, I like to snatch.
But that's the problem with a lost child, right? It freaks out the parent.
It absolutely
But I can tell you,
does.
somebody goes to a lot of sporting games, oftentimes you see a small child run by, and in my head, the parent should be here. But I am not stopping that small child.
No.
Right? You can't,
I don't know where he's going.
You can't.
Right.
Dude, I was at the corner with a kid. He was probably 7, 8 years old. He was young. And he was waiting for the light to cross. I'm waiting for the light to cross. I just felt like why are y'all alone? What's wrong? Where's your parents at? Like, why are you can't? How can you operate on your own? You're much too young.
Even though we probably did the same thing.
Exactly.
Right?
You know, like, what are you talking about, mister? You dumbass. I'm going home.
So you turned around.
Absolutely. I got lost at Wild Waves as a kid.
So how long did where did he just wander off and he got confused?
He had to go to the restroom, and he didn't see the one right next to me and decided not to tell me and just started walking around the level looking for the nearest bathroom. And, of course, I went to security, and they found Seattle police, and they were all looking for him. And at one point, I said, I'm going to run down to the field and just stop this game so I can see my boy. I don't care if you arrest me. Just let me hug him before you do.
Well, that's a little extreme. I mean, surely he'll show up.
No, I like what you're saying.
I'm going to run down the 50-yard line.
The game.
And I'll say, Peyton, where the F are you?
Hell yeah, where are you, boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely parental. So did they find him, or did you find him, or how did it work? Where did you end up getting reunited?
They found him walking back from the restroom and brought him back to me.
All right, good.
You know, I realized as soon as I asked that question, my fear is that we never were reunited.
You never wanted to get
Never saw him again, man.
You never wanted to get to the PA level. Because then when it gets to the
Yeah,
PA
then it's
level,
embarrassing.
then people see that you have to be reunited. Like, now they don't really know what's going on. Like, who knows what happened to the boy? You know, it wasn't your fault either way.
Now 70,000 people are judging your parental
like when
skills.
they call you to the front of the Target, you know what I mean? And like your kid is crying, and like, then you're the a-hole parent. You know what I mean? Like that then you're on display. You know, that sucks worse.
Oh, I've done 15 years at Safeway before, so I've called many parents over the PA, you know, like, hey, got a kid up here.
Oh, man.
You know, what's the protocol, man? Because you can't just say, hey, we got a kid up here. I mean,
got a 5-year-old with snot coming out of his nose.
Usually we just try to keep them up front and send a bunch of people looking around for the parents, you know, because they're looking, obviously, too, most of them. But once in a while you got to call and be like, hey, we have Jim up here, and the parents finally show up.
I don't know if they are, man. I think times are a little bit changing.
I would go PA first, man.
I went out to dinner the other day, man, and like the kids were just like walking through the tables everywhere.
Oh yeah,
like doing figure eights, like they're in this restaurant, like, you know, doing their own thing, and parents weren't paying any attention. And one kid was like laying on a chair, and I'm just like, man, my mom would beat my ass.
Oh hell yeah!
If I did any of that stuff, like, you sit your ass down, you put the napkin on your lap, you know what I mean? You be polite, get your elbows off the table, and sit down and shut up. You know what I mean? Like, I would never be allowed to do that.
Definitely different.
Who was looking for what and why? 844-999-OLA.
And, you know, your parents didn't mind embarrassing in front of everyone.
No.
So if you acted up in the store, which is like kids love that cover, right? But they don't think you'll raise your voice too much. I have no problem with it. And I noticed they stopped doing it. But my mother, man, because you think she's going to try to be cool about it and do this thing. Didn't matter. You're at the grocery store. Top of her. Get your ass back down. And you're like, wow, man. And that was like the most humiliating thing on earth. So I just stopped doing it. I'm telling you, man. Mm-hmm. Grocery stores do not bring fond memories.
No.
Yeah, and sometimes, man, like, you know, they're kids. Like, you don't even think about it. Like, I remember getting lost a couple times. We just would walk off.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd walk off, or we played hide and go seek, but not tell my mom we were going to play hide and go seek with her.
My daughter did that, and it was upsetting.
Yes.
And so when I finally found her, it was like, hey, listen, I understand you're playing hide and go seek. The most important thing is that we all know.
It doesn't
matter.
See,
because if you don't tell us, it's called my kid's missing.
If you're waiting for your mom and she's shopping, it's the same.
You wander off.
You do. Just like if you're a parent now and it's your wife instead of your mother. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, what is taking so long?
Let the kids go off.
I'm going to go walk around myself. Just me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go wander and look at stuff.
The first place you should look is probably the toy section. Because you're right. Kids just wander off. Mm-hmm. If they're going to go, it's like that's the moth to the flame, man.
Who is looking for what and why? 844-999-OLA.
Again, just hanging out with your drunk buddy.
Right, basically. Your drunk buddy, yeah. Oh, God, I got to find him. Hello, Taylor. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
All right, so last year, me and my buddies went on a bachelor party out in Chelan, and it was a good group of us. I'd say about like 10 or 11, and we went out the first night, and we went to the only bar that was, like, occupied. There's a bunch of other bachelorette parties, and so we start drinking, talking to the ladies, having a blast. And one of the guys in our group, Cameron, I call him Mr. CrossFit. He's shorter than the rest of us, but he makes up for it, you know, everywhere else, and full of confidence. And when this guy drinks, he likes to just, he turns it way up. Well,
You're telling me Mr. CrossFit turns it up at night?
The guy that does
Get
CrossFit.
out of here.
I can see that.
That guy.
Yeah, drives a Subaru, CrossFit guy. So we're winding down. The Bachelor is, pirating hard. One eye open, so it's we got to get out of here. We can't find Cameron. We call him, phone's off. It's oh, all right. I mean, he was taking his shirt off in the bar. I'm sure some young lady wanted to keep that shirt off. So we leave, and it's a 40-minute cab ride to the Airbnb we were staying. We go to bed. We wake up at 7:38-ish, and there's texts. SOS, SOS. Where are you guys? Seriously, it's cold. I'm what? Homeboy just wandered off and fell asleep on a bench in the middle of Chelan and woke up, phone dying. Was why'd you guys leave me? He's you turned your phone off, man, when you were drunk. We left him out there till about 1 o'clock just so we could really, really, feel it. It was amazing.
Yeah, well.
I like the SOS. Yeah. It's getting cold.
Well, it's in the desert. Who is looking for what and why? No. Yeah. 844-999-OLA. Still to come, Drunk and Charge. Ryan Castle coming in to Sit and Spin. We've got the cost of meeting 10 artists backstage coming up with Sit and Spin, and more of your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Men's Room with Miles and Frill.
Tulsa County deputies arrested Austin Van Horn after he tried to get away from them on a moped-style motor scooter. Deputies say Van Horn was driving the moped on the wrong side of the road when the officer turned on the sirens. The driver made eye contact with the officer, and he would not pull over near the 4100 block of Dawson Road. Van Horn then drove through a median, over a traffic hump, then onto a nearby railroad. He drove on the side of the railroad tracks and tried to lose the deputy, who later did lose sight of Van Horn. Deputy, however, saw Van Horn about 15 minutes later in an apartment complex. Deputies say the man was not wearing a shirt, was panting, sweating, and had mud and tree brush all over him. They later also found the moped. Deputies arrested Van Horn, and he admitted to running from the officer because he had an outstanding warrant. Moped was not registered, tagged, or insured. He is facing charges for eluding, driving on the wrong side of the road, and driving without a license. Our question, who is looking for what and why? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, damn it. Hello, Autumn. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Autumn.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola. Oh, hello.
Sorry about that.
You're good. You're good.
Oh, how are you?
We're doing well, Autumn. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Big fan. Been listening since I was a little girl, so I'm really excited to talk to you guys.
That's terrible.
No, man, I feel old now.
Great.
Thank you.
So what was looking for what?
I was actually looking for my birth father.
Okay. What? How long did you know that you did not know who your birth father was?
I probably found out when I was 5 or 6 from my mom, and because she was kind of explaining the dynamic of our family. My parents got together with children already, and I was 3 or 4 at the time, so I kind of understood what was going on.
Okay, so you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, so I have 4 siblings.
And all with the same father?
No, I have a stepsister and 2 half-brothers. I don't have any full-blood siblings.
All right, so they know who their father are.
Yeah.
You just
rub it in, Miles.
You just don't know what business trip your mom was on or whatever.
Yeah. So it kind of came with a crazy story. Basically, her and this guy started dating. They met at work, and she found out she was pregnant and the plan was to tell this guy, and he kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. And So, as far as I knew, he had no idea about me, and she had the story how she had gone to the police and filled out this missing persons, and they said that the name that she gave them didn't exist. There was nobody in the state with that name, and things kind of ended at that. So, my whole life, I'm
So what are you, like the Immaculate Conception? So basically your mom said...
Yeah, it's almost like she brushed by him at work like, well, they work together, and then all of a sudden she went to him and goes, I'm pregnant.
And he threw down a smoke bomb and was out.
Like, oh, no.
Yeah. So it was pretty crazy, wondering, is this person I'm walking next to related to me? It's pretty crazy.
Did you find him?
I did, actually, about 4 months ago on Facebook.
Okay. How did you, how long had you started the process of the investigative stuff?
I've been looking for him for about 15 years. I actually had a teacher in middle school that I was pretty close with and told her the situation. She tried to help me find him, and we couldn't find him. So, growing up, every few months or so, I would scour the internet and see if I could find anything.
What was his response? Did you reach out to him, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I did. I reached out to him, and I basically told him that I thought he was my father. He actually lives in Florida.
Autumn, hold on for 1 second.
Hang on.
Autumn, we're going to take a quick
I want to hear the rest
station
of this.
identification. We'll get right back to you, okay? Our question, who was looking for what and why? 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.